Hello. So I am going to uh, make a drawing of this painting that I'm looking at here. Okay. So I already sort of started with an initial sketch of the upper body of this figure, and I am going to just continue with what I have here. Um, and initially, what you want to do is just make a sketch, kind of like a loose sketch of the entire composition. I wouldn't commit to anything right now in this early stage. Um, I'm using a 4H pencil right now, a light valued pencil, so that usually don't want to use a dark valued pencil when you start a drawing, because then you'll be committing to something that you might want to erase, and then when you erase it, uh, it's going to be harder to erase. So why put yourself in that position? Um, so yeah, I'm just going to keep going. This painting that I'm looking at is by William Adolphe Bouguereau, who was a French neoclassical painter, um, who I happen to appreciate. So yeah, just keep on going with the 4H. So what I'm doing with my hand, basically, what you can't see is what I'm doing is I'm looking at the image with my hand. I'm using this pencil here that I have, and I'm saying, okay, how far is this head from this shoulder right here, for instance? So I'm measuring out with my eye how far it is, and I'm making a shape, an angular line, kind of crosses through from the chin, let's say, to the edge of this arm here. So I make that line. And then I find a way to kind of do the same thing here. See, I'm making a line. I'm saying, okay, it's about there. And then, same thing here. So, okay, there's the edge of the head, and then there's where the shoulder is there. So I do the same kind of treatment here, let's say. Her head is facing down, so you're gonna see a lot of her hair because of that. Also, one very important thing to consider is the curve that the body is making. So there is a curve. There is an initial curve that you see here. It's kind of going like this, and then it kind of goes like this here with her foot there, and then it curves upward here like this. See that curve? And then this curves in this way. So it's like this, and it's like this. There's this curve, and there's that curve. So we're gonna try to do that in the drawing too. So here's this curve. See, I'm just making a drawing with my pencil, and it kind of curves down this way. And then there's another curve which happens, which is there, let's say. I'm just shaping it out with my pencil right now, saying, okay, well, here is the bottom edge of her shirt. If some of the drawing is cropped, it's okay. That's fine for now. The important thing is to be able to measure everything out, make sure that the shoulders are as far as they need to be from the head, and the head is as far as it needs to be from the legs, and the feet are as far as they need to be from the arms and such. So that's the important thing right now. I'm always considering what's going on in the background, because that will shape the figure. And I just don't care about being specific right now. It's just not important right now. What is important is getting a general idea of where everything needs to go. So right now I'm not using any technique other than just kind of mapping things out and kind of figure out where things go. Now, as you can see, there is a foreshortening that's happening with this arm here. So I look at the hand and the arm here and I say, okay, the hand is here and it's making this, there's a line that's in this angle from the arm, from the hand here to the edge of the shoulder here. So I kind of mimic that in the way that I draw the spatial relationship here is going to be limited to the distance from here to here and from here to over here, and try to make enough space for the bottom of the dress here and the shirt over here. You see there's a curve that happens here. This curves down, it makes this kind of curvy line here, as you can see in the painting. See this curve here? There's a curve that occurs right here. It's not going straight, it's curving. So look at the hairline and see how it curves and just goes down to the elbow. Do the same thing down to the elbow. Just like that. I know it looks really messy right now, but that's fine because you can just erase all of this, so you don't have to worry about it looking perfect initially. In fact, if you make it look perfect initially, you're going to kill it before it even starts. You want to make sure that there's enough room for this portion of the arm, the forearm, and then there's enough room for the hand here. Hands are very important for Bouguereau, so you want to be able to respect that in the drawing. See, I'm just making the curves. I'm making curves right now. See, there's a curve that happens here. See that? Just goes like that. So you do the same thing here. That way you can create movement in the drawing. See? See? Everything is very gestural and sketchy right now. see how the shading will help to create the illusion of the curvature that's taking place over here in the body where the hip is, and then the top of the torso. So there's a curve that's happening here and here too. And then same thing here. Here. And then come in with your eraser and just do what you have to do with your eraser. Sometimes what I do is I just cut pieces out of my eraser so that I can have more of an edge to erase with. Okay, so let's look at the shadows that are happening in the skirt that she's wearing. So you see there's a shadow happening there, shadow happening there. Of course, this is probably the darkest value of shadow within the skirt that is happening here and also here too. Okay, so we're going to try to kind of figure out where these shadows are in the drawing by measuring out with your pencil, making this line over here where the knee is. See this line? Do you see this contour line right here? It's circular because that's where the knee is, and that's where the knee is interacting with the edge of the arm right there. And you'll find that the setting down where the shadows are before you actually illustrate the hand over here, for instance, will help in developing the formation of the hand. So this kind of goes back to the concept of positive and negative space in a way, because the negative space that's happening here, which is not the subject, is more to do with shadow, does shape the subject just as much as the subject would shape what is not the subject. In other words, the negative space. So, but anyway, that being said, let us just continue. And keep in mind that I'm still using the 4H pencil. I haven't done anything else with my other values yet that I have over here. In case I didn't show you, they're right over here. I even have a knife that I use to sharpen my pencils with, along with the pencil sharpener. Now she's looking down at the crab that she's playing with a stick, poking with a stick. Whatever she's doing with the crab, she's looking at it. And that's what we're trying to capture here. See, I don't care how the crab looks right now. Makes no difference to me. What I do care about is the shape that it's making and how far it is from the hands right now. The negative space that is operating here, for instance, and here is very important to me because that is form, and the form of the negative space will shape the crab and the spatial relationship that the crab has with the hands. I would rather you crop off than to try to squeeze everything in. If you need to crop off, it's fine. So now I'm just trying to figure out where the hair is going to go. And the relationship that it has with the shoulder is very important. And now we can figure out where the mouth will go, for instance. So I need to look at my drawing and not look at the screen of the phone, because that is a strange experience to look at myself drawing the drawing in the phone. So let's see here. Yeah, where? This is an extreme close-up, but that's okay. See? So I come in with my eraser now and just erase the edges of the face. And the nose. Okay. And at this point, I want to cross-hatch a bit in certain areas, like the dark zones of the hair over here, for instance. Let's do a little cross-hatching to show a little depth. I realize that I'm telling you guys that and then I'm working on something else. Okay, so again, yes, let's do this. See, my cross hatching is it's pretty loose right now, so it's not too tight. I'm not really concerned about making perfect lines or anything like that's you know that's not going to help. You know, the lines don't have to be perfect. Let me just shade in the dark shirt that she's wearing. The upper part of her dress. Let me just go ahead and first get her shoulders in there. You want to make sure that your line work is not too stiff. Kind of flows down. See how the pencil kind of, it doesn't stop when I'm done applying pressure on paper. It just keeps going. You need to have that dancing quality of the pencil. Okay. So let's go over here too. And do the same kind of thing. Let your pencil dance over and on the paper. So I want to make sure that there's enough space here because there's a curved space here for her knee. So you need to include that. Now let's go ahead and do what I said I was going to do 5 minutes ago. All right, here we go. So just go like this. And a drawing, you know, has thousands of lines in it. So you can never put too many lines. You can never draw too many lines in a drawing. And even if there are parts in this drawing, like you notice how there's like white, kind of like bright parts here. Well, in my case, I already kind of shaded that area in, but it's okay because I'm going to come in with my eraser and erase that son of a gun. I'm using a pencil right now. It's just an HB lead. So HB, that's the value, and it's just pencil. You can buy this at your at the student bookstore, which is closed, of course, right now. But you can also buy it online. Okay. So I'm just gonna continue working on the shirt that she's wearing here. For now. And I'm not, I might not finish the entire drawing or anything, but I'm just gonna keep going until I get tired. So yeah, I'm just shading this area in here. Always keep everything in check. Keep the, the folded, shirt in check with in terms of the distance from the head, let's say. Keep everything in check. Always look at everything. Never neglect any space in the drawing. See, even with the shirt line right here, where it folds up again on her arm, my movement with the pencil doesn't stop here at the edge. It kind of goes around. It circulates. It circulates. That creates the illusion of depth. See, this circulation to show that it's actually going around the arm. And even the lines that I make for the arm, the hatched lines, are they have a curve to them because the arm itself is curved. And that helps create the illusion of volume. See this uh, kind of this area over here, her shirt area here where there's folds, and it's pretty light in value, right? So you're going to try to do that with, I'm going to try to do that with the eraser now here. So I'm going to measure it out with my pencil. Say, okay, it's right over here. It's making this curved line, not flat. And then you do the same thing over here. So let's see. Basically, I'm just going to erase out the form. Like so. And then you're going to come back at it with your pencil, which is fine. It's a push and pull. This process is a push and pull process, so you're always coming back with your pencil. It's never a first go type of thing where you finish it at the first go. It just doesn't work that way. As much as I would like it to be the case, it just doesn't work that way. Hey guys, once again it's me. My camera, my video keeps stopping because it only goes on for like 20 minutes of time or something. So this is my bird's eye view of the drawing so far. And yeah, so I'm just gonna do a little more. I'll draw on the crab and some of the reflected water because I know that Wei was having an issue with that. Um, and then that'll probably do it for today. Yeah, and I'm gonna use darker valued pencils to give you guys an example. I can start doing that now too. Okay, let's go to a 2B right now, and then we'll work in the 2B in here, so I can show you what I mean. So, I mean, for instance, we can use a 2B for the shadow that's taking place underneath the hand over here. So see the shadow in the hand, underneath the hand right here? So I'm going to use a 2B for that shadow right now. And also for more of the folds that are taking place here. And I'll use 2B for like this dark shadow over here, for instance. And I'll use more 2B for the edge of the dress right here, which is dark. Um, and let's see how this crab form is going to work here. This will be interesting. I'm just going to go ahead and use a 2B right for the crab form without even using any lighter values. Mm. And I can come in with my eraser and mark off a highlight in the crab or something, and then come back. Okay. And then if we look at some of the reflected water here, let's see what we can do with reflected water. Well, I initially like to just set up a kind of ground of evenly laid out pencil value here. And then I come in for this. She's sitting on some kind of rock. It's not very comfortable, but it works well for the ideal scene that Bouguereau was working with. So yeah. Okay, so for reflected water, what you're gonna do is, I would just come in with your eraser and just say, okay, here's the reflection, right? Here's some more reflection that you see. Here's some more. I'd come in with my napkin here and just kind of blend. Blend. Come in with a 2B and shade in some area here, shade in the reflection of the fingers against the water. Because this is the edge of the rock that she's sitting on, so we're trying to capture that. And remember, you don't have to capture every single detail because your eye will do that work for you. So you have to trust your eye to do the rest of the work for you. Insert in parts of the drawing, especially. Yeah, so for water, again, an initial ground of value, like so, blend it, and then come in with your eraser and start erasing out the reflected light on the surface. Okay, moving up to my 4B, I'm going to work on the dark area of her shirt again and the dark areas of the hair. So that's the 4B right there. Now let's go to a 7B. And let's darken those eyelids of hers. And her nostrils a bit. And the lips. Now, of course, you can work on this for hours and hours and hours. But I think for today's session, this will be enough to give you guys an idea of how to approach the master drawing that you're working on, and also the next drawing that you guys are going to work on too, which is which I will disclose to you shortly. So now what I'm doing here is I use the 7B for her hair, then I'm coming in with a little napkin here for blending, and then I can just come with the pencil, and you see there's highlights in her hair, for instance, so you can just blend, and then you can come in. See those highlights? So then you would just make those highlights with the eraser. And then you refine the lines, hairline. You know, with a hairline, you never should make a hairline too sharp. It has to blend in with the skin of the face. Can't be too sharp, otherwise it's gonna stand out and won't really look very good. So she's in this idealized landscape. Okay, and you can also use a 9B for, again, just for her shirt, really, because the shirt's really dark in value, so just kind of get in there. And parts of the hair, parts of the face. I'm pretty much done now, okay? The details of the chin. And see, the 9B can give you a really kind of buttery kind of quality to the drawing, so there. See this? Even here too. See, a lot of the line work doesn't have to be literal. So I can make her skirt, for instance, the lines of her skirt can be achieved with 9B, but they don't have to be literal. They just have to kind of flow with the entirety of the piece. See? Alright guys, well, I guess we're gonna have to stop for today, and we will discuss this on Zoom. Okay? Bye.